good, everybody? Welcome back to the BlitzCity Podcast. I'm your host, Kobe Orr. And now that we are a few days removed from the Alabama A&M Jackson State game, I want to talk about it because there are some things that really stuck out to me that I honestly couldn't even keep to myself. But before I do, this Thursday, tune in. The Shine On Me X series is back, and we are going to Morgan State, where we will be interviewing Alfonso Graham, one of the best running backs in HBCU football and in the FCS. As a matter of fact, he reached 1,000 yards. He'll be on this Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Also, Eastern time, of course. Also, FBS Fridays is back. We took a break last week because people wasn't available. We're back. Me, the Blue Bloods, my boy Clay McCarty, and a fourth guest, which will be rotating every week. This is an every week thing, so look out for that as well because we're back this Friday talking about FBS football. But as for this game between Jackson State and Alabama A&M that just took place, I have to start off by saying that the referees did a horrible job. A horrible job. And when I said this on Twitter, people kind of took it the wrong way. Alabama A&M fans, of course, because they thought that I was advocating or that I was trying to imply that the referees were only out to get Jackson State. What I was saying was they did a horrible job, period. They only got a few calls right. I'm not going to say every call they had was wrong. They got a few calls right, but for the most part, it was horrendous. And the SWAC really need to take a look at that because this type of pitiful refereeing could really cost somebody their season. And I'm scared it's going to at this point in the year. What, three or four touchdowns called back on Jackson State side? First of all, the kick return by Kevin Coleman was, first of all, it was very impressive. Number two, I felt sorry for him because he literally did not deserve to have that thing called back. When you look at the lead block, it was perfectly fine. There was nothing personal about it. Like it did not deserve to be a penalty. And they called it a personal foul, I believe, something like that. He got it called back. I was very upset at that. Travis Hunter, thank God for him. Thank God for him. He's special. He's special. And not only did he get his first offensive touchdown of the year, he also got his first interception. I mean, what can you say about Travis Hunter that hasn't been said already? I mean, the way he plays the game is something that you will not see in most freshmen, true freshmen. He plays the game like a vet. You feel me? This one-on-one teaching that he's getting from Coach Prime is paying him dividends. And honestly, respect to Quincy Casey for not being scared to throw the ball Travis's way. Very few quarterbacks that he's faced this season have been adamant on throwing to Travis because they're scared of his status. They know who he is. A lot of these guys in the HBCU space, whether y'all know it or not, people of opposing teams kind of feel like he's overrated. So they want to try him. And then, when they complete a pass on him and they do something positive on him, they feel good about themselves, right? And rightfully so, they should. But Travis will show you real quick why he has that number one ranking, why he is a 5-star prospect and a future first-round pick. So I just want to say, man, having him on the field makes life so much easier for Jackson State. And I know Coach Thurman and Coach Prime are just so happy that they were able to pull this off because this move is paying dividends for them right now. Which brings me to my next point, getting to the defense. That was some of the most uncharacteristic play that I've seen from the defense in a while. Yes, they only held them to 14. I think that's what they had, 14. But some of the runs that they gave up, and we know what kind of defense this is. This is a bend but don't break defense. We get it. However, this late in the season, I do not like to see those big plays that they've been giving up. I don't like to see that. I'm not going to be a prisoner of the moment. I'm not going to be one of these people saying North Carolina Central, if they make it to the Celebration Bowl, North Carolina Central is going to run over Jackson State if they don't get it together. No, I'm not a prisoner of the moment like that. But it needs to be cleaned up. You feel me? Like those little mistakes that they're making, it has to end now because you're very close to meeting North Carolina Central in Atlanta. So, it needs to cease. Next point. Offensively, Shedeur has to get down. And I'm glad Coach Prime came out and said, you gonna think Shedeur is a baseball player the way he's going to be sliding from now on. And I love that because it was, those extra yards were not worth it. And this is what I mean when I talk about Shedeur. We know Shedeur is a great quarterback, but there's always criticism for any player. And with Shador, it's, number one, sometimes he holds the ball too long. Number two, he needs to learn how to slide. Shador, you're not that big. You're not a big guy. Like, you aren't number 16 from Alabama A&M, the running quarterback. You're not him. Do not lower your shoulder and compromise that just to look tough or get a couple extra yards. Take what they give you and get down. Without you, this season most likely goes down the drain. The quarterback is the most important position on the field. And as we seen last week, when JP got in, no disrespect to JP because I do think he's talented, that offense struggled with him. Granted, he got thrust into the game just like that, but you are QB2. Your whole job is to be ready for that. Stay healthy, man. Just stay. You got 2 more games, then the Celebration Bowl. Stay healthy. You feel me? Don't put yourself in harm's way. Last point. A lot of people were upset that Jackson State came out passing more than they did running. If you remember in my pregame video of this game, I said Alabama A&M defensively stopping the run, they were middle of the pack. They were ranked 5th in the SWAC. So it's not a surprise that they were able to hold Jackson State and not really let Sivion get going the way that he wanted to. Like, Sivion didn't have a big day. He wasn't contained, but he didn't have a big day. They were stopping him for a good bit of the game. I wasn't surprised by that because they are ranked 5th. I said, when it comes to passing defense, they are second to last in the SWAC. That's where you should attack them. Those DBs that they brought in aren't good. It's not paying off in Manning. So I understood the mentality of Bartolone going in and passing the ball as much as he did. I understood it. And to be honest with you, the passing game probably would have been a lot better if, maybe the play calling was just a little bit more better. I think the biggest thing was the drops. Think Shane Hooks had a great game. He also had drops. Dallas Daniels, he's, 1 week removed from that injury. He had drops. Well, a drop that went right through his hands. Shout out to DJ Stevens for catching the exact same pass that was thrown to him. But, he's a bigger body guy. His hands are just more sure, I guess. But, shout out to him. And also shout out to Dallas Daniels for getting an invite to the Shrine Bowl, because that's a big deal. We all know Dallas is a pro. Overall, man, this was just a very uncharacteristic game for Jackson State, but nothing just seemed right. And I'm not making any excuses, but it's just what it was. It was very uncharacteristic of Jackson State, but it's back to the drawing board. 1 more game before the SWAC championship, and then hopefully you're off to Atlanta. With that being said, you are watching the BlitzCity Podcast. I'm your host, Kobe Orr, and I'm out. Peace.